by Hart.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content, it never strays from positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. With the presence of your eyes, what a distraction. Beautiful to soul, especially in action. This year not ration, came in abundance. Films like in Sundance, tech like the pop art. Tachi Queen, you are Curtis a beast heart. You must carry, cause MCs they all vary and seldom do they motivate. World full of hate, we serve a hope on a plate across different platforms. Let's hear a buffet, hydration like Boucher. Don't focus on a day, we always here for you. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. Now you award winning with no award tours. This culture meets the art. Podcast with the heart and essence of the growth. The power's in the people. Without you, we ain't equal. What we lack is ego. We're back now, so here we go. Run the show like Arsenio. Episodic, our rituals, minds change through visual representation of our nation and its differences. Some explanation of our uniqueness and innocence. Mass media's intention is to desensitize. We raise the wise and knowledge is power. Without it, we turn coward and proud of a known product. Like we could take it with us. I wish the greats were still alive and here with us, but it is what it is. We're left here to share our gift, and that's precisely what we'll do with it. Shape shift and fluidly, we can pass this test and still in our unity, elevated through stress. Yes, MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch. MediaScope when you emotionally broke. Settle in our knowledge and conversations, go make them yours. What we run is Olympic, now your hands on the torch. Take it easy like Sundays on the porch.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another riveting week, another riveting edition of this venture into media tech and pop culture, news and fun and foolishness and all the rest. This is what we call MediaScope. My name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist, and I do some other stuff on the side. It's not just me. We are here, by the way, every week at Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. But I do some little stuff on at 5 p.m. or 5-ish on Instagram Live as well. It's not just me. It's this guy behind the curtain. MC, how you doing?
Hey, what's happening? How are you?
You sound super excited. How's everything after the storm?
Things are much better. But it's always so kind of interesting how Mother Nature just comes in and does all kinds of damage, and then the sun just comes out like nothing's going on. Nothing ever happened.
Let me tell. I live in Hurricane Alley. You think I don't know what it is? It's like it's sunny and beautiful like the day before, mocking you as you're running for your life. I remember when what was the big one, the Irma, that was like a Category 5. And they were like, they got on the TV and they said, "You need to leave." I said, "No problem, Captain." I was putting stuff in whatever I could find. And I was like, let me find luckily I found a flight out of here. I said, I'm not staying here for this and riding it out like I'm some sort of hurricane cowboy. Be gone with me. So I got everything. Go ahead.
In my mind, I'm thinking like, because it's horrible. I guess at some situations there are people who just can't leave for whatever reason that may be. But in my mind, I'm thinking, wow, why are these people putting other safety professionals in jeopardy? Because they have families too. But the reality of it is that some people can't leave. Yeah.
It's not that, look, not everybody can say, you know what, I'm flying out of here. And then it's like, well, where are you going to stay? How are you going to pay for it? Those are the things that are a real concern. There are people that live in places where, and of course there are shelters and things that are open, but those are like, really, shelters are supposed to be last resort.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that shows you the regard we have for it if shelters are supposed to be last resort, meaning we're not really trying to house you, but if for real you have no place else to go, then all right, come on then. That's really the attitude that comes with it.
Yeah,
so I'm like, if that's your attitude, I don't need to be there. No problem. I will go home to New York, and that's what I do every time.
Right.
But you're good. Didn't mean to make it about me. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, things are good here. So wasn't as bad as it was, but in some places it was flooding. So, but
right. Well, get used to it because that's your life now.
I know.
Remember that show, This Is Your Life?
I do.
60s. It's like, MC, this is your life. That's exactly what it's going to be. Faraz is here. Faraz from the UK. How are you? Good to see you. I'm glad it's what. And Yolanda Lattimore is here. It says she's watching and she shared. I appreciate you. So feel free. If you think somebody else would get value from this, let them see it too. Tell them about it. I would appreciate that. Also, my good friend Ann Ellis is here. She says, hey. And also, look who's here. Coach Tawana is here. It says, hello, Sunshine. Hello to you, Sunshine. Look who's here. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, what's up, Coach?
Oh, okay. Didn't hear you, Mr. Softness. Anyway. Joan is here, also known as Joni Red Butterfly. How are you, my dear? Thank you so much for being here. And she says, R.I.P. to Melvin Van Peebles. Yes, I don't have a picture for you, MC, because we just found out that Melvin Van Peebles passed.
Wow.
So yeah, I know. So I will talk about it. I did pull up an article, but I don't have a pictures for you, so I apologize with that. Wabiri Jordan is here, the songbird herself. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Coach Tawada says, hi, MC Curtis.
Hey.
You sound very excited to be here. And the queen of food truckery is here, and I see I have a little choppiness going on, so forgive me. I don't know what that was about. But the queen of food truckery is here, and she's got apparently some libation because MC Curtis is back, and she put even a drink and a coconut for you.
You need to have a special for me because it seems like it's been eons since I've been back, right?
Exactly why you don't need a drink. You got to get on your job today. Never mind all this fancy drinks. Forget about umbrellas and such. Get to work, brother. Forget about drinks. See, you're also so not on your job that there's no ice. Where's the ice?
There's always ice. Someone's got to drink those drinks.
And who would that someone be?
Well,
good night, MC. No, today we're not doing this. Let's say hey to Candy Sakai, who I love, our international audience. Candy lives in Tokyo. You know how many hours ahead she is of us, and she's still welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Tell me what time it is in Tokyo right now, because I always mess up are you 20 hours ahead? Let me know. Welcome. Pat Murray is here and says, I'm actually on time. Glad you're okay, MC Curtis. Have a beverage on me. Oh, Pat. I know you're trying to be nice, but let me tell you why you can't give MC beverages, because the show will just go downhill from there.
Hey, Pat, thanks for checking in on me also. She sent me a message as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I did, right? Okay.
Yeah, you did too. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. I always will make sure you're okay, because you got to come to work. You all right? Come on to work.
Gotta make the donuts, huh?
You got to make the donuts. And in this case, tacos. Today is Taco Wednesday, and look what is on the food truck. You've got tacos, you've got burritos, you've got salads, we've got bento boxes, pizza if you like, if you please. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So thank you once again to Serena Wills, who is the queen of food truckery and the mistress of libation. Thank you so much for being here. And Marty Lorenzo L. McCoy L. is here. Hello. We're seeing your government name. Oh, Scorpion Vibes. Hey, yeah, this is clearly your government name because I'm like, who is this? But hey, welcome. What's up, Scorpion Vibes? Scorpion Vibes, our brother from CQ, from Club Quarantine. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, Sir Exile, Jose is here. Riding the storm is not wise. Exactly why I go back to New York whenever a storm is coming. People are like, yeah, we're going to ride the storm. By yourself, witch. I'm gone.
Right.
The hell? Right. Why would I stay there for the sake of sport? What kind of sport is that? That's not fun.
Sounds like fun.
Riding the storm sounds like fun?
Well, to some people it does. Not me.
I was about to say, did you get your cowboy 10-gallon hat and your spurs too to ride out the storm?
No, I'm not one of those people. I'm like, really? No, I don't think so.
No. I don't think is wise. Now, everybody cannot leave. That's understandable. If you cannot, then you need to make sure you are in a safe place. For me, the safe place is New York. So, not here. So, anyway, although our house, this house is from 1952. It has not gone anywhere yet. So, the building here is made to withstand that, but still. See you after the storm. All right. Let's see. Do we have Yes, your IG name is Divine, right? There we go. All right. So Patricia, you're not even part of the MediaScope food truck. Who gives you the right to make specials? But he says, in order of Curtis's in order of you, Curtis, the Texas Rexus is your drink.
That's hilarious.
The Texas Rexus.
We need to say hi to our listeners.
Okay. To everybody who's watching us on Facebook Live, thank you so much for being here. We love you. If you're taking part with us or partaking of our libation, our media libation on LinkedIn, welcome to those of you on LinkedIn. YouTube, I see you. We see you. We're here. Thank you so much for being here on YouTube. Also, those of you listening live on WJMSradio.com, thank you so much for being here because, you can listen to us too. And tomorrow, you can also listen to us if you're in the Caribbean or actually around the world because you can listen through the website. Those of you listening on Gospel 107.1 FM, blessings. Bless you. I don't know why this is so funny to MC Curtis, but he makes me do this every week. Not that other people don't deserve blessings, but it feels like a house will fall on me if I do not bless the people of Gospel 107.1 FM.
I just need to hear it.
We already squirmed in there with our nonsense and tomfoolery. We're already walking on thin ice, so I better bless them. Thank you. And thank you once again. Fantastic. All right, here's your drink special. Drinks on MC Curtis. I like that one. That means he'll be less likely to buy any. So, here we go. Oh, look at El Cheapo over here. El Chapo, El Cheapo. Anyway, here we go. Can I have the intro for the media section, please? Well, unfortunately, we have those two rest wells. I talked a little bit about Melvin Van Peebles. I'll go into it again after this one. So unfortunately, Willy Garson. Do you know who Willy Garson is, MC?
I do not.
Okay, and I figured that you did not. So I'm going to learn you. I'm going to give you this. He's an actor. He was one of the stars of Sex and the City, also was in White Collar. From Sex and the City, you will know him as the gay best friend of Carrie Bradshaw, played by Sarah Jessica Parker. He passed away at the age of 57 from cancer, unfortunately. We're losing so many people day by day by day. We keep losing people.
Yes, yes.
And it's a shame. And here's the thing. I didn't know he had any kids, but his son, Nathan Garson, was like one of the first people to announce it. He said, "I love you so much, Papa. Rest in peace. I'm so glad you got to share all your adventures with me and were able to accomplish so much. I'm so proud of you."
Wow.
So yeah, that's hard because, again, I didn't know a whole lot about him, but I did watch Sex and the City and did enjoy his character on Sex and the City. So it's unfortunate. So you will be missed. And here's the thing. There is an upcoming HBO Max limited series based on that is Sex and the City called And Just Like That. So, because that's something that the character Carrie Bradshaw always said, and just like that. So it's called And Just Like That. And he was sick on set while, filming all this. So he will be in that. So it's unfortunate. So you will be missed. Job well done. And we don't have, you can take down the photo because we don't have it for this, but Melvin Van Peebles, who is basically the godfather of Black cinema. Okay. I was telling the story on IG of how a lot of my influences in terms of getting into film and making content were because I took a Blacks in Films class in undergrad. And we covered all eras and all around the Black film from around the world. And one of the eras we covered was the Blaxploitation Era. And I don't know if you all know, but you probably figured out that the Blaxploitation Era was the time when there was the most amount of Black film and Blacks on screen, albeit it was exploitive. So, but my sister always used to say, call it exploitation, but it's good. So Blaxploitation was one of my favorite eras because of that. It's not necessarily that the stories were very complex. It just represented a time when Black people were on screen. And so he's really the godfather of Black cinema. He directed Watermelon Man, in case you didn't know. And of course, Sweetback's Badass Song. And he also wrote a lot of Broadway musicals. So he was 89. Go ahead.
So during his time here, what time frame was that, or what year was that? Or
that was the 70s. Watermelon Man was 1970.
Okay.
Sweetback was 1971. And then and this is the thing. He made it in 19 days for $500,000.
Jeez.
Opened in just two venues, Atlanta and Detroit, very strong Black cities, right?
Right.
But it was really fueled by word of mouth. So everybody, and then, at the time when you don't have that much representation, whenever there was anything that was Black that came out, everybody went to go see it, right?
Right.
So regardless of whatever. And I would like to think that's the same with like a lot of things. Like if you don't have a lot of youth on film, everybody's going to go see the youth film. So wherever there's that lack, everybody will go to see it. Whatever. I remember one of the Indian movies that I really like. I'm really influenced by director Meera Nair as well. Mm-hmm. She directed Mississippi Masala. Remember Denzel Washington, one of his early films. Also Monsoon Wedding. So I went to go see Monsoon Wedding, which is one of my favorite films. Just the colors and the storyline, I absolutely loved it. So did she also direct The Namesake? I have to look that up. Kel Penn was in The Namesake, but go ahead.
What I would like to see from more Black directors or creatives are movies that are more kind of thought-provoking, kind of like a manifest, that really kind of just make you think rather than just The
And where is Manifest now? Canceled.
Well, I mean, actually,
I'm sorry.
no, I mean, but no, even though it's canceled, it's the idea that that kind of movie it's out there, and I would like to see more of our, black and brown folks do those kind of movies. So even though it's canceled, I think matter of fact, it's the fourth season actually is going to be on Netflix. So it's canceled via NBC, but the fourth episode is going to be on Netflix. So.
It is going to be on Netflix, yes. But I'm saying that to say this. Unfortunately, the populace does not necessarily like thought-provoking programming. If I have to think, particularly when we're in times like this, where we have a bloody pandemic, where we have all these things going on, I don't want to think. If I'm watching a piece of entertainment, I want to be entertained. I don't know. I want to think. I want to be, and I'm like you. I get it.
So are you implying that Manifest was taken off or was canceled because people don't like to think? Because even though that may be the case, it still lasts for 3 seasons, or actually now the 4th season. So isn't that somewhat pretty good in this space?
For this day and age, yes. But again, it's too high concept. Things that let me tell you what doesn't really do well TV wise. Things that are very high concept. It may be brilliant. The writing may be brilliant, but we're asking too much, we're asking for too much from people when it comes to that. I'm sorry. I'm not calling you dumb. I'm really not. But but the average person does not want to have that much thought provoked from them if I'm sitting down to watch TV. And it's sad. It's sad, but we have to look at the masses. We're not talking about a quote unquote talented 10th. We're not talking about a small segment of the population that wants to be thought provoked or wants to be provoked. I need a poll, but wants to be poked and think about this.
To be prodded or something.
Here we go. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I have to demonstrate each time, okay? Yeah. It's a small percentage of people that want to be prodded. It's not the masses. So if you have a show that is too high concept, it is not going to last very long. I'm even surprised that the thing like this, stuff like Manifest, can run out of fuel very quickly.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. Absolutely. I hear you.
Let's take some comments because I know they're going off in the comments. So Joan says, sad week. Willie, Sarah Dash, yes. And Melvin. So Sarah Dash, for those of you who didn't know, she was also part of, oh gosh, help me, the name of the group with that sings Lady Marmalade with help me. The name of the group. Somebody will put it in there because MC Curtis is of no use when it comes to pop culture things. So Sarah Dash passed away as well. Absolutely. Terry Johnson says he was so funny with Mario Cantone. Yes, talking about Willy Garson. Absolutely, absolutely. They were hilarious. They were a good comedic pair. Absolutely. Yolanda Lattimore says that Melvin Van Peebles broke the mold. Absolutely, absolutely. When you talk again, he is the godfather of Black cinema. So absolutely, absolutely. Rest in peace. Says Scorpion
LaBelle?
Vibes. Go ahead. LaBelle. You looked it up, didn't you?
I did.
Tell the truth. Okay. I was like, yes, LaBelle. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With Patti LaBelle. Yes, absolutely. NYFF starts on Friday. They're showing his film next week. Yes, the New York Film Festival. So I would love to, but there's too much wahala. It's still COVID. So I'm not wanting to go to places. And remember, I told you that they canceled NAB because of COVID. So if we're canceling a show that brings 100,000 people, I am not going to anybody's film festival, but have at it. Or is it virtual? Let me know if NYFF is virtual, if they decided to do that. Yolanda says, How to Eat Your Watermelon in White Company and Enjoy It was an amazing documentary of his early life. Yes. There are a few documentaries. Also, there's Badass that was made about the making of Sweetback's Badass. Go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking it was interesting because what was that documentary that Yolanda just put up there? Or you just put up there for Yolanda said something about it.
How to eat your watermelon in white company and enjoy it.
Interesting.
With a fork and knife. That's how. Yes. Scorpion Vibes also says he was in the movie Posse. Yes, as was his son, Mario Van Peebles, and Sally Richardson was in that as well. I remember because I actually went to the theater to see it. Right, but that was back in the day when you really had to go to the theater because it took so long for stuff to get on VHS. So it'll be 2 years later now on VHS. Posse. Thank you all. Dr. Tarla Toomer is here. Hello, welcome, and thank you all for everybody who put in LaBelle. So Serena says she just performed on September 18th, apparently. Wow. Yes. Also, thank you, RIP to comedian AJ Johnson, who was Azelle from Friday. Yeah, I had that in my timeline. So there are a lot of people who have passed. So rest well to all of them. Let's keep going. Folks, let me reintroduce myself. In case you have never been here before, you're watching on the replay, or you just don't know what's going on, let me tell you. This is MediaScope. We talk all about media tech and pop culture right here every week. And we also do IG as well. And who am I, you ask? My name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist. And I'm joined by somebody who's enjoying too much libation, MC Curtis.
Hey, everybody. What's happening?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that will never get old. Oh, dear. All right. Could I have photo 2, please? Let's talk a little bit about Britney Spears, as if anybody still cares about this conservatorship thing. But we were just talking about Netflix. Netflix has a documentary coming up about Britney Spears. Yay! One step closer to reaching the screen. There's been a trailer that dropped today, so you can look it up. It is called Britney versus Spears. It is basically about the case. Do you know about what's going on, MC? I'm just assuming.
No, I don't. I was just going to ask you.
Do you know who Britney Spears is?
Yeah, I know who she is, but what's the conservatorship deal? What is that?
The conservatorship, basically her father had control of all of her money. Because she was deemed like not capable of taking care of things based off of some of these other things, mental issues, etc. So her father basically had control of all of her money. So there was this big court case that happened because she wanted the conservatorship removed, which apparently is going to happen. So according to, go ahead.
So why was he having an issue giving her money back, or at least control over her?
Because he apparently he deemed that she was still not fit to control her money. But see, the thing is, it's like, so you don't get control of your conservatorship, and now you're getting married again. So she's engaged, I guess, getting ready to get married. I forgot who this is, but to me, backup dancer or whatever.
Right.
This is another Kevin Federline thing, if you ask me. But who am I? Who am I? Anyway, so the Netflix said that the documentary is going to center around this conservatorship, which apparently is highly unusual. I don't know a lot about them, but according to Variety, this is unusual, and it will feature key figures in Spears' orbit. But it's unclear, but probably highly unlikely, that Britney Spears herself will appear in the project, given how closely guarded she's been from media outlets and media opportunities with regard to this. Now, let me tell you how long this conservatorship was. Has been 13 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
But do you think about it, how long ago it was that she shaved her head, remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. I do. And I didn't think it was
so I don't know if they're... No, it's been time now. It's been some time. So this is what Spears' father said of his daughter through an attorney. If Miss Spears wants to terminate the she doesn't have a British accent. Let me stop it. If Miss Spears wants to terminate the conservatorship and believes that she can handle her own life, Mr. Spears believes she should get that chance.
Okay, but my question is, how is he the person to determine her mental state? I mean, I can understand initially, yes, with the other stuff that was going on, but in order for her to get
Mhm,
it back,
mhm.
it didn't go shouldn't it go before some kind of physician or medical team, or and some person who would just say, "Hey, okay, she's healthy now."
Well, I think it depends on what the terms of the agreement were. Well, I think
Mm,
all of
okay.
that depends, because if it were that simple, they wouldn't have to be in court right now
Right,
to.
right, right.
If it were that simple to, all right, when we go to a doctor, we see you're okay, I'll give you. So something tells me that they were trying not to give that up. Hence, now they're in court. So, look, I don't know.
So is he spending her money too?
Mm, that didn't. I don't know. The
Hmm.
views expressed by MC Curtis.
Well, no, I'm just
I'm not,
asking a question. Why would
I don't know
someone
if
want to
he's.
hold on to? Why would he want to hold on to her money in that way? Unless he's
Money
spending.
does some interesting things to families.
Right,
I'll
right,
say that.
right.
Money
Absolutely.
does some interesting things to families.
Right.
Anyway, Serena says this is very unusual because she's grown. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But again, if you are determined not to be of sound mind, maybe this is something that could happen. Absolutely. Um. Oh, Terry says nope. The NYFF is live and in person, but I won't be there, nor will I, sister. I will be joining you. Not there. I will not be there in person. You know where I won't be? At the New York Film Festival. That's where I won't be. Take your cue from NAB, people. The major event for media and entertainment that draws 100,000 people globally canceled, and they're going virtual. That's the major. I'll be quiet now. I'm going to move on because apparently I'm like, I don't know. Look who made it. Jasmine Graham, MC Jazz, is here. What's up, Jasmine? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to move on. Could I have photo 3, please? You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to give a hug to you guys to let you know that I 100% appreciate you coming here to, involve yourself in our shenanigans, because there are quite a bit. So, but they're all good shenanigans. Right, MC?
Right.
You don't sound convinced. I'm saying they're good shenanigans. But we got photo 3 up. Yes, we do. Do you know who this is, MC?
I do. I do. I mean, they used to rap together, didn't they? Or the DJ?
They did used to rap together. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. This is when they were like young.
Yeah, I remember that.
Although Will Smith doesn't. I mean, not that they either one of them aged, but Will Smith like really looks the same. That same kind of like, hi, I'm Goofy look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, and that's probably the reason why I didn't get into the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, it was like kind of lighthearted, fun hip hop. You probably liked Ice Cube and NWA, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the return.
Live on tour, NWA.
Yes, can't wait
That's
till they
where
come
your
back.
speed. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. I bet you're getting your spangled suit now, ready for their return.
I am with
Get your
the
jerry
glitter.
curl on and the glitter. And since you can't put a jerry curl in your hair, you could get some rods and put them in your locks to mimic jerry curls. That would be fun, wouldn't it? You've been wanting a change, so
Yeah, I need
just
to do
put some
something.
spirals in there. Pretend they're jerry curls.
Yeah.
Who came up with that hairstyle? That's all I have to say. Random thought. And why?
The Jerry curl?
Yes.
I used to have a Jerry curl.
I can't. Please stop.
I did. I did.
Wait. Okay. So I have to know. Was it? You know how some people try to make their jerry curls dry so that they
Yeah.
look more like natural curl, or were you spraying yourself with activator all the time? Was it
Yeah.
afro-like, or was it hanging down and wriggling?
Yeah, it was kind of juicy. Yeah, it was juicy. Yeah. I remember I used to put the bag on before, like before I went to bed,
Stop.
and to
Far be it from me to laugh at anybody's hairstyle. But I never had a Jerry curl, so I don't know. The thing is, and I don't understand how people that lived where, in upstate New York, it gets cold. So
Right.
you're spraying your hair and it's wet, and you lived in Chicago.
Well,
You
yeah,
must have been freezing.
Yeah, that was the challenge, because when it was cold, it didn't really kind of just moisturize properly. It just laid on top of your hair. So
it just froze.
Yeah, it was just I mean, it wasn't frozen, but it was just kind of like, it just didn't really kind of.
So the droplets would just be kind of.
Yeah, they're more kind of.
So what did you? I'm sorry, I just have to know. Did you use a plastic bag and then you put a hat on?
No. I use a plastic bag at nighttime, but my mom would. That was like a no. You don't go outside with no plastic bag on your head.
No, but like a plastic bag, and then you put a hat on, so that when you got to school, you could take it off.
Oh no! I couldn't go outside with the plastic bag. Period.
Okay, she was like, "Look, I already acquiesced to let you get the Jerry curls. What you won't do is shame me by leaving this house with a Publix bag on your head."
I never liked combing my hair in the first place, and so I never knew what to do with my hair.
So you had Jerry dreads. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, it was pretty juicy, but it was just outside of that. If I didn't have the Jerry curl, my hair would just be a couple of picks. I just pick it out a little bit, and my mom was like, "Did you comb your hair?"
Lumpy hair McGee.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh dear. Coach Water says, "I will never see Curtis the same again, nor will I." William Slaces here says, "Curtis, did you wear that bag at the Harold's? Where's Harold's?"
Harold's Chicken. That's a spot in Chicago, man. It's good food.
A plastic bag over Jerry curls and Harold's Chicken. I mean, if that's not the epitome of stereotypical, I don't know what is. Pat Murray says that plastic bag hat combination was a New York thing. It is, yeah. To me, it would make sense. I'm like, it's cold. If you don't want to mess up your winter hat, put on the plastic cap and then just take it all off when you get to school.
Yeah, but my mom she wouldn't dare let me wear that plastic bag outside.
Jasmine asked if you had a Luther curl.
A Luther curl.
Like Luther Vandross had, his curl. And it had the nerve to have bangs too. Didn't he have bangs kind of at one?
No, that was only Luther wore bangs like that.
You have to be in entertainment to get away with things like that. Oh, yes, Charlotte Tuber, TT Doc from Periscope. How are you? Stop the hate on the Jerry curl. I apologize deeply to anyone, if I offended you, that has a Jerry curl now.
Dr. Toomer, did you have a Jerry curl?
And we're waiting. Do you have one now? That's what I want to know. To anyone who has one now, I am deeply sorry. I am expressing deep regret for this laughing tirade. The views expressed, though these views are my own. These views are my own, and I stand behind them. But I will express deep regret if I have. And this if is like a Fat Joe apology. If I offended you,
more like a Felicia Rashad apology.
We're not going to go there. The views expressed by MC Curtis. Let's keep going off of, so we brought this up and we got into this whole tirade about Jerry Curl, which we weren't supposed to, but that's what happens on TV channeling. Folks, we have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and DJ Jazzy Jeff. They are... Will Smith has Westbrook Studios, as you know, and they're in talks to actually sell. And along with Davis Entertainment, they are developing a hip hop musical called Summertime. Remember their song Summertime?
I do.
So they're developing a hip hop musical based off of that, inspired by the song. The musical film is set at Sony's Screen Gems and is going to be directed by Peter Saji from Blackish. And this is going to be his directorial debut. Interesting. So they won a Grammy from this song and it hit number 4 on the Billboard Top 100. But now it's really like a summertime anthem. If you think about it, it's always played, right? So they're like, why not capitalize off of the popularity of this summertime anthem? And they are going to do that. Do it into a remake. So I don't know what the premise behind this is going to be. We don't know, but it will be interesting to hear. But let me tell you what else Westbrook is working on. They are making on a remake of the comedy classic Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and it's going to star Will Smith and Kevin Hart. I think Will Smith was just kind of like, I need to work with Kevin Hart too. Let me write something or produce something that we can work together. I'm not mad at you. So, and he's also working on the runaway slave. I hate the term runaway slave. Enslaved Africans who emancipated themselves. Let's say that. It's a narrative drama called Emancipation, starring Will Smith, and is directed by Antoine Fuqua. He will next be seen in King Richard, which is something that Westbrook is doing as well. So Westbrook, his company has a lot of things that are coming up. In addition to, did you hear about the Bel-Air? Which is a drama version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And apparently was like a fan film that somebody made or a fan episode. If it was a drama, Will Smith approached him and was like, we got to do something with this. And bam, here it is. So good for you, Will Smith.
Absolutely. Now, you're saying that they were looking at selling Westbrook Studios?
Yeah.
What you're saying?
To an entity that I talked about, you weren't here last week. So you were battling storms. So they talked about, they are selling, they're in talks to sell Westbrook to the same entities that bought Hello Sunshine, which is Reese Witherspoon's company, for $900 million.
Jeez.
So they bought Hello Sunshine for $900 million. I don't even know what the terms of this are going to be.
Because under Westbrook, do they have the the Red Table?
Yes, Westbrook produces Red Table Talk, which just won an Emmy.
Wow.
So look, they have a media empire, and this is what I wish for people. This is what I love this. I love to see this. I really do. So good for them. Congrats to you all. And but I do need to know what you're going to do with this summertime hip hop musical. Can't be cheesy now. Anyway, let's take some hilarious and true. Are we talking about the Jerry curl? That's hilarious and true. If someone has a curl in 2021, then they're the offending party.
Right. Absolutely.
Look, I know somebody who had a Jerry curl in this, it had to have been, it was like 2011, 2012. They lived in Pensacola, Florida, probably one of the only places that still does Jerry curl. Right. But that's a country hairstyle if I ever did see one. And Gary Lanham is here too. Hey Gary, how are you? Welcome. So Madi says, I don't know, I keep calling you Scorpio vibes, but I can call you Madi, whatever you want me to call you. Did I see the creepy lame movie on BET called Karen? It was terrible. I fell asleep 20 minutes. No, I didn't. Has anybody seen Karen? First of all, I don't like horror. So if it's horror, the answer is no. Never mind. We already know MC didn't see it. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
There we go. All right, let's keep going. Welcome, everybody. If you're just joining us, I'm Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also journalist. This is MediaScope. We talk all about media, tech, and pop culture news with a side of fun. And we've had a lot of foolishness today over this Jerry curl. And then it's also the former Jerry curl wearer and patron, MC Curtis.
I should open up a fund for Jerry curl. Former Jerry.
A fund?
Yeah, fund. F-U-N-D, fund.
Would this include counseling for people who were former Jerry curl? Okay.
Yeah,
ex-Jerry curl
patriots.
Ex-Jerry curl patriots?
Yeah.
Something about that doesn't sound good. Let's get off of Jerry curl because you will have us there all night. Speaking of music and hip hop, could I have photo 4? Guess who is coming back on the scene? Ready or not? The Fugees are going on tour again. And as I said on IG, I sincerely hope that Lauryn Hill will be on time. Wait, do you know the Fugees?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and you know Lauryn Hill then. All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, this is actually kind of cool. They've announced their reunion tour in honor of the 25th anniversary of their groundbreaking album, The Score. So everybody knows The Score. I mean, that was like a college anthem, basically. So it actually, they got a Grammy for Best Rap Album back in 1997. So anyway, this tour marks the first show in 15 years. And their first show in 15 years and their first tour in 25 years. So they did a tour, then this means right after the album came out, and that was it. And then everybody kind of went their separate ways because, you know, Wyclef had his music thing. Lauryn Hill had that album. And then Pras had his album and with a few little hits there. So they're scheduled for a 12-city international tour with a pop-up performance in New York at an undisclosed location on Wednesday. Is that today? I think so.
You mean during MediaScope?
How dare they? What were they thinking? Anyway. Well, you can sign up to purchase tickets if you like by going to globalcitizen.org, and you can purchase tickets to go and see the Fugees. That's kind of cool. I really liked the Fugees, so it is cool. But Lauren, I implore you to be on time. And we said this on IG. D Nice, when he did his set, when he did CQ Live, he was on time. 7:59. If it started at 8, 7:59, he was backstage like this. The moment 8 o'clock hit, he went.
Right.
He was just like this. 8 o'clock. That's the kind of on time I need you to be, Lauryn Hill. I'm African, so I know how we do with African time. That's not what we're doing here, Lauryn Hill. I need you to be on D Nice time. Somebody called it DST, DCT, Derek Central Time. No, DST, Derek Standard Time. That's what you need to be on DST.
Now, it was some time ago that you mentioned this about the Lauryn Hill, and she was like 2 hours late, wasn't it? 2 hours.
She was like 2 hours late. If that were me, I wouldn't still be there to see you 2 hours later. I'm just saying, because after a while, you get antsy unless there's a lot going on. Because what are they doing? They brought up a comedian. They're playing music. What do you do when you don't expect? So they probably like, all right, we know she's probably going to be late. We need to bring in this person to fill the time. Right. They know her MO now. So they're going to be filling that time. And there's probably some kind of clause that you don't get paid if you don't show up. You
Exactly.
get docked if you don't come on to. They know her. They've dealt with her too much at this point. So, but anyway, congrats to the Fugees on the 25th anniversary of The Score. We'll be looking for you. And let me know in the comments if you, or, you know, those of you that are listening, let me know. Get at me on social media at Dr_Tachi on Instagram. And let me know if you are planning to go see the Fugees in concert. All right. Could I have the next one, please? This is 5, right?
That's correct.
All right. So, as if we really needed to see a study to know this always whenever they have these duh studies, if you ask me.
Right.
Duh, really? But I'm going to say it anyway, just because they did the study. A new report has found that Latinos or Latinx people are vastly underrepresented in media. I'll wait for you all to say, duh. Did we need a report to know this?
Yeah. Jeez.
We know. We can see that. So Latinos are very basically perpetually absent in major newsrooms, Hollywood films, and other media industries. And here's the big thing about that. It's a dumb moment, but also what representations are there impact how fellow Americans see them, according to a government. And this is a government report that was released actually just yesterday. So the Congressional Hispanic Caucus asked the U.S. Government Accountability Office to investigate last October. And this was spearheaded also by Representative Joaquin Castro from Texas, from your state, or the state that you reside in. And he has made the inclusion of Latinos or Latinx people in media a big issue, a principal issue. So let's talk about what the report found. So what happened? Were you going to say something?
No. I think it's very interesting because, like you said, why do we need to do a report? But that's just, me saying that. But,
to prove that they really don't exist in media. We know. Right. Do better. So, but I mean, now I think sometimes people work off of having concrete proof. Okay, now that there are numbers, we know exactly the lack of representation. So I get that. But any idiot can look and see that there's a lack of representation, right?
Exactly.
So this is based off of 2019, right? So this is a long-term study that not necessarily long-term or longitudinal, but over 2 years. So the report found that in 2019, the estimated percentage of Latinos working in newspaper, periodical, book, and directory publishers was 8%. An estimated 11% of news analysts, reporters, and journalists were Latino. But here's the thing, that also used data that included Spanish language. So of course they're going to be represented there. So if we're talking now about mainstream media, that's even less if we take out Spanish language media, right? So that's troubling, right? So that could inflate the number significantly if we take out Spanish language media. So the report also found that the biggest growth among Hispanics in the media industry was in service jobs, while management jobs had the lowest representation. Latinos account for about 5 to 6% of main cast members in TV and film, despite being 18% of the U.S. population, according to this research. So this, they asked them to investigate. They've gotten all these numbers, and this is what they have devised or what they have come up with. Castro says this, your congressperson says this, that the lack of accurate representation, especially in Hollywood, means at the very best that Americans don't get a full understanding of Latinos and their contributions. And at worst, especially when Latinos are solely portrayed as drug dealers or criminals, it invites politicians to exploit negative stereotypes for political gain, which often happens. And that could also engender violence against Latinos, like the killing of 23 people in El Paso by the gunman who was targeting Hispanics. So people think representation doesn't matter in media. It matters.
Absolutely.
Representation matters because of things like this. Media really colors and shapes the way we see people. That's why representation matters. So if you had to ask, this is why. And I'm sorry and sad that we had to have a whole report to do this, and people can't just do the right thing, but people respond to numbers. So this is a big deal.
I think the other side of that too, it's also a reflection of how we see ourselves, because if we don't see ourselves, be it black, brown, or whomever, in in different forms of media, it's a reflection of how we see ourselves. It becomes a self-esteem issue,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And self-esteem, or lack thereof, also affects how you react and act upon the world.
Absolutely.
It's a huge issue. So people are like, oh, well, why does representation matter? To which I know you don't have very much common sense, or the same amount of common sense that God gave two smashed flies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you get tired of thinking for people sometimes? I mean, this is really A plus B equals C. And some people still don't get it. It is very cut and dry. Representation matters for everyone. Everyone. Accurate representation matters. And that's one to grow on. And so this picture is Zoe Saldana, of course. So that was the picture they had, and that's what we had. Let's go to the room for a moment and see what's happening here. Serena Will says, duh. I don't know who needed to hear this, but Jose says, I might go see the Fugees at Prudential Center in Newark. Okay, fantastic. Jasmine says that this is terrible. It absolutely is deplorable. Patricia Murray says, isn't this from Hollywood Shuffle? My sister and brother-in-law were in that. What's from Hollywood Shuffle? Did I put up a photo that was from Hollywood Shuffle? Let me know. And Madi says, yes, it does matter. It absolutely does matter. Representation matters, y'all. Shay Cannon is here. What's up, Shay? Good to see you. She says, I think New Edition success has brought out all the old school groups on tour. You know what? I have to agree. But I think it even goes deeper than that. I think it is this whole era of nostalgia that we're in. Okay, so I'm even going to take it. It's nostalgia, right? The reboots of shows that we're seeing, the resurgence of music. Social media has a lot to do with that too. Think about the whole thing of how big Stevie Nicks, when she was with Fleetwood Mac, and Dreams, how big that song was on TikTok. So social media has a lot to do with this resurgence of nostalgia of these older songs, and this bringing it to a new generation who you would have thought they don't know who Stevie Nicks is. They don't know who Fleetwood Mac is, right? And even if they did know Stevie Nicks, they may not know that she used to sing with Fleetwood Mac. So, it's bringing it to a whole new generation. So I think that's where it starts, right? And then you have New Edition, and then you have all these other groups that are going out on tour. And here's the thing. I'll go back to social media. And I know I keep bringing up D-Nice, but he's done such a revolutionary thing in terms of bringing music from all eras. But, he is of that 90s hip hop era. So bringing that kind of music forth, and because it was such a big thing during a pandemic and everybody's listening to him, making a new generation of people appreciative of the songs, right? So there's a lot. Social media has a lot to do with this resurgence as well. So very, very on point. Thank you so much. Jasmine said, ex Jerry Curl Patriot. Serena says, I went to a show at the Kennedy Center. They put her on last and she was still late. She missed the sound check and everything. So she's doing sound check on stage basically as she's performing. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Wow. And that is a nightmare for any tech person that you don't show up on
Absolutely.
time. That is a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't we know that?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Don't we know firsthand what a nightmare that is when people don't show up on time? Hey,
absolutely.
I'm like, look, whatever you need for us to get you here to tell us, or guess
Right.
what? We can tech you ahead of time. So even if you have to come late, you just come in. No. So that is the bane of a tech person's existence. Artists or speakers or whatever that don't want to get someplace on time and don't want to tech. Anyway, so Madi says this. That's because the new music is so bad that we're all nostalgic, but I digress. Well, you know, I don't know that. What do you all think about this? Are we nostalgic? Because usually nostalgia comes about when during times of turmoil, we've got a pandemic going on, etc. So we long for times when things were different. I'm not going to say simpler or easier because that wasn't the case for everybody. But when things were different, when we did not have a pandemic, right? We did not have certain things. So we long for those times. And part of what is a mark or a marker of those times are the songs we listen to, the television shows we watch, the books we read. So media is that the hallmark of all of that, is the hallmark of that. So that's why we reach for those things. But do you think it's true nostalgia, or is, as Madi says, the music so deplorable today that we are longing for the music of old, or we're listening to that because the music is so bad now? What do you think, MC?
You know what? I think a lot of what you're saying is true, but also I think a lot of people like the collaborations, you know, that the new edition, you know, the Earth, Wind, and Fire. So it was music, you know, it was young people who were eager to make a name for themselves, and I think the collaborations were, you know, it was always nice to listen to.
Okay. Well, my coach Shawana says yes, the music today is that deplorable. Wow, so she's not a fan of the music. I think there are some artists that are doing some amazing things. I think the thing is, too, we also rely very heavily on mainstream music, and we don't search for some of that great underground music or great indie music that is really hitting. So, you know, I would challenge all of us to do that. There's a channel on YouTube that I really love called Colors, and it showcases music from, you know, a lot of young people in the UK. So it's Colors, just not spelled. It's not spelled the UK way. It's spelled the British way. It's spelled COLORS. So look it up, and they have some amazing music there. So yeah, check it out. There is some good stuff, albeit that the old classics, nothing like them. But there is some good stuff. That's one place that I'm hopeful. Even if I'm not hopeful about the Emmys to make a change in what they do, or the Oscars, I am hopeful about the future of music. I will say that. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, what about that mumble rap? You heard of that?
I'm not hopeful about mumble rap.
Yeah. Right.
What did you say? I said, I can't stand mumble rap. But you know what? It's not made for me. I don't have to like it. There's an audience for it. So by George, go on and listen to it if you like mumble rap. I respect all forms of music as an art form. It may not be my type of art form, but I respect it. When I lived in DC, I was not a huge fan of go-go. But I got an appreciation for go-go after I left. The Africanisms of the drums, I got an appreciation for it later. So I didn't really appreciate it when I was like, what is this? Coming from upstate New York. And New York is very hip hop and heavy, very alternative heavy, very R&B heavy. And then I get to DC and there are people beating on buckets to make music. I'm like, what is this? But I have a deep appreciation for go-go now. I really do. That's why when, somebody will play a set, I'm like, hey, I remember this. Sardines and pork and beans. I remember that. Rare Essence, Backyard Band. And when I lived in DC, I actually went with one of my friends who was from DC and said, let's go see Chuck. I'm like, who is Chuck? Chuck Brown. So I actually got to see Chuck Brown in person perform in a nice, intimate setting. It was actually kind of cool. So,
yeah.
Do you know Chuck Brown?
No idea who Chuck Brown is.
No wonder you're so quiet. Chuck Brown, you know the song, It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Go-Go Swing. You've heard that before.
Yeah, I've heard that one, yeah.
That's Chuck Brown. He's like, he is the godfather of go-go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so Chuck Brown. So it was cool. I got to see him. It was like in a club setting, so it was cool that I got to see him. Oh boy. So Joan is rolling her eyes, and I'm taking it rolling her eyes at the music of today. Jasmine Graham says, so y'all don't like your hip hop to sound like Dr. Seuss books? Dr. Seuss would be preferable,
right,
for me to mumble rap. Can you imagine if Dr. Seuss was a rapper? Out in the boat, the goat, the green eggs and ham, the Sam I am. Yes, Chuck Brown is from North Carolina, but he's the godfather of go-go. He is the godfather of go-go. And but people in North Carolina like go-go too. It doesn't reach very far, but you'll get from DC to North Carolina people who appreciate go-go. So, anyway. Wow. No, I did not know that Dr. Seuss's name should actually be pronounced Zeus. It's a German name, right? Dr. Zeus. Oh, well. That's going to mean bad things for Seussical the musical then. If it's pronounced Zeus. Zoisical. Oh boy. See, that's why you need to know how to pronounce things properly before you name it after someone. All right, so it is 7:08. I don't want us to take too much time. Let me. We're only on story because we've spent a lot of time on Jerry curls today. Let's do. We did 5 Latino representation, which to me was very important. Let's do. I go to photo 10. I want to get some tech stories in before we head. So. Photo 10, is this you? Thank you for that tech intro. So this is tech/also media. So Vogue says that the Met Gala content, which was last week, clocked over 200 million cross-platform views. That's huge. 200 million, MC. So from a digital perspective, the Met Gala was a huge success. From a digital perspective, definitely. So this is what did it, the influencers. I'm telling you, the fact that they got that much digital marking, right, had that much of a digital footprint was all because of influencers. So they welcomed more and more influencers into the fold. That did not used to be the way the Met Gala was. The Met Gala was fashions night. That was really fashions Oscars. That was where you could see your, your favorite celebrities. Who are you wearing? And they would tell you who you're wearing. It was about the designers and those types of things. In fact, now you see the red carpet being done by social media influencers as opposed to Andre Leon Talley, much to his dismay. He is not pleased with that. Guess what? Fashion is not pleased with that. People are not pleased with influencers, but my friends, they are here to stay. So you either find a way to work with it or sit and complain about how it used to be as they make the money. The choice is yours, friends. The choice is yours. So nearly 15 million viewers tuned in to Vogue's official red carpet live stream, which aired on Vogue.com and on the magazine's Twitter account. So it was there. So that figure also includes live and video on demand coverage, according to TubeFilter. And so in all, the Met Gala content derived 200 million views across all of Vogue's social channels. This is okay. Wow. So we're only talking about Vogue's social channels right now. We're not talking about all of the people who watched on, maybe Women's Wear Daily, all of these other places that were posting. That is not even that. This is Vogue's content alone. So the footprint is even deeper when you add other publications in. I'm not mad at them. The night that really was meant to raise money for the Metropolitan Museum of Art and support art has become this huge cultural phenomenon, and bringing into the fold what they're doing now is the influencer. Let me get myself together so next year I could be at the Met Gala. What have I done to displease the social media gods? Huh?
So this was done from the Vogue's website? The streaming was?
No, they streamed on Twitter, on their website, yes, Vogue.com and Twitter. And those were the two places that they had. I don't know if they streamed on any of their other channels, but Twitter and Vogue.com. So here's in addition to the Twitter stream, they tapped a couple of other people because the Twitter stream was hosted. So get this. The Twitter stream was hosted by Kiki Palmer and Ilana Glazer. Vogue then tapped a YouTube star, Emma Chamberlain, to do video on demand red carpet coverage.
Nice.
So they've got several things going on.
Absolutely.
I cannot be mad at any of this.
Wow.
This is the future. So Vogue did this as well. They produced a slew of YouTube content following attendees like Billie Eilish, which had 3.5 million views, Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, which had 3 million views, and Blackpink's Rosé, which had 4 million views as they got ready for the gala. This, oh my gosh, talk about promotion, talk about social media management. I can't even. This is what you do. This is how to do it right. This is how to do it well. And because they did such a bang up job with this, you think people are not going to come back. Now, remember, these are people that are probably not normal Vogue readers, not normal Vogue followers, but you've drawn in people now because of this, who will probably now hit that follow button and consume your other content. Good night. I dropped the mic. Or they dropped it, actually. Let's take some more comments. Jasmine Graham says, people have wrapped Dr. Seuss books. Look up Walk It in My Pocket and the Migos rendition of Llama Llama Red Pajama on YouTube. Lord, I'm going to look that up. Thank you. Also, Shay Cannon says they also let Kendall Jenner take photos with her phone and Vogue distributed them. Yes, exactly. Kendall Jenner was on board as well. Absolutely, but I mean, at the Met Gala, yes, I got. What can I say? Bravo, Vogue. Bravo.
Absolutely.
There's nothing else for me to say. So I'll keep quiet right now. And let's do, we don't have, it's 7:14. I'm going to put a lot of the other stories in my timeline on social media. I may come back and do like a little wrap up kind of for tomorrow on social media, like I'll do on Instagram or something, and talk about the stories we didn't get to talk about. But I have to do this one. Could I have photo 16, please? And before you do that, actually, could we have the pop culture segment? All right. Now, in this photo, you'll probably, you will not be surprised when I tell you who did this. The maker of the Satan shoes and the Jesus shoes, or with holy water in it. This is them. Mischief, MSCHF is their name. It's a collective, an arts collective. And they're opening an unholy Chick-fil-A business on a Sunday. You know, Chick-fil-A is closed on Sundays.
Right, right.
So what they're doing is going to Chick-fil-A, buying these sandwiches, because these are Chick-fil-A sandwiches now, directly from these fast food locations, and they're going to bag them in these 666 branded packaging, inspired by the rooster logo on Chick-fil-A. And it's priced at how much? That's right, $6.66 per sandwich. It's going to happen Sunday, September 27th. Oh, I forgot to precede it with this. Today on What the Hell Is This? Sunday, September 26th, they are going to launch Sunday service. And you'll be able to get a bootleg chicken. It's not even bootleg because it is a Chick-fil-A sandwich, but they're just selling it on a Sunday, and it's out of a 666. Okay, do you, Mischief, do you intentionally do things to be provide? I mean, I know you do, but I'm just wondering, is this necessary?
Okay, is the sandwich even spicy? Is it a spicy sandwich?
To indicate the fires of hell? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, the numbers is hot.
I don't know. They didn't say whether or not it's the spicy They didn't say if it was a spicy chicken sandwich. I just like, do you have to try this hard? I'm like, I get it. You're an arts collective. You're trying to be provocative. You're trying to go against the grain. You did it with the Satan shoes. You did it with the Jesus shoes. You do it with all these. They do a bunch of different things. I know this is your thing, but are you trying to get a rise out of Chick-fil-A? Is this what you want? I'm like, I don't know. I just think that this is a lot. This is a lot of effort. What is your message with this?
When I seen that image, I immediately thought Chick-fil-A misbehaving. I didn't know it was by this group here, but I was like, misbehaving Chick-fil-A.
No, it's by Mischief, and if you look at the picture, you see it looks kind of like that rooster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. My thing is like, what is the point of all this? I know art doesn't necessarily have to have a point, but what is the point? If they were giving this, and I don't see anywhere what that they're doing with this, what they're going to do with that $6.66. If you were doing it to raise funds in opposition to the groups or that Chick-fil-A tends to support, perhaps I could see, all right, they're being provocative with a point. But I don't see the point in this.
So
unless you, I don't know.
Is the money going to fund the Satanist church or something?
Probably not. It's probably going to fund their next cockamamie scheme. Serena Will says this: people are crazy, especially Mischief. Madi says they are trying to get a rise out of the Christian right. Yeah. They are. Madi also says they will dominate Fox News for the rest of the year, probably. And Jasmine says they're taking a page out of Lil Nas X's books on social media trolling. Yeah, absolutely. And Jasmine knows this. She is social media person extraordinaire. All right, they're packing up the last call at the food truck. Make sure that you get yours. Joan has asked for 2 chicken tacos. Make sure you serve her up right because she's been here. Oh, and Joan is a soror, Serena. So you want to make sure you do right by her. And my coach Wanda says, what is wrong with people? I ask this every day, but nobody seems to have an answer. Even beyond the 666 chicken, nobody has an answer. So... Sunday service like Kanye West.
Yeah, I was actually thinking they were like, so because in the image here, it looks like it's a spicy chicken sandwich. So I was thinking they were actually
It does.
redipping it.
Dipped in like hell sauce, maybe.
Yeah, some sauce from hell or something. We went to the bowels of the earth. Yeah, we got a special sauce from hell.
All I have to say is like, I think this is an awful lot of effort, and I don't know what this is going to. You're trying to get a rise, but my thing is, if you're trying to be provocative and get a rise, do it for a cause or a purpose. I can't tell you what to do, but take that $6.66 and donate it to a cause that that is worthy. That's all I have to say.
Well, right now I'm envisioning a bunch of guys, bunch of people in a conveyor belt.
Jeff says she'll never order another spicy chicken.
Right.
And Serena says we serve authentic chicken sandwiches on the food truck. That's right.
Yeah, right now.
Go ahead, sorry.
Right now I'm envisioning a bunch of people with like a conveyor belt, kind of thing, coming from the bowels of hell with buckets of hot sauce from hell. Yeah, just working like a chain gang or something like that.
Hell's chain gang apparently. To Gospel 107, I apologize in advance for this story, but it just I really love to know from you all what you think about this. I think this is extra for no reason. Why? But I had to tell you because we love chicken stories here on TV channel, not TV channel. Why did I say that? MediaScope. TV channeling is my other show. Which, by the way, the new episode of TV channeling is up. Take a listen. That's it. We're done. We're already at 7:22. I apologize for going over, but we spent so much time on the Jerry curl that I could not be helped. And Marty says, well, if they're promoting hell, shouldn't it be only spicy chicken sandwiches? I suppose a line of reasoning would say yes, that it should only be spicy chicken sandwiches.
Well, the 666.
But why are you doing this? Go ahead.
The 666 to me looks like it's going to be one hell of a hot chicken sandwich.
And it's probably covered with sick sauce. This is just somebody. This is a group of people. What happened?
Someone with like a wooden yoke on her neck with two buckets of sauce. Sauce and a bucket of hot tail sauce.
2 buckets of sick sauce.
Yeah, sick sauce on each side.
My final word is why. This is entirely too much. For what? Can't we do there's a pandemic going on. Isn't there something you could do with that? Anyway, that's it, folks. Thank you so much for being here. You guys absolutely rock. This was so much fun today, as usual. We got in a lot of different things, and I'm so glad that you all joined us. MC, any final words? Wait, well, I'm sorry. Patricia said mumbo sauce. For those of you who don't know, mumbo sauce is a type of sauce that is on chicken that they use for chicken wings and everything in the DC area. So mumbo sauce, yeah, that's about it. I don't think I've ever had it because it doesn't look appealing to me, but people swear by it. But anyway, any final words, MC?
No, great show. Great show.
Great show to you too, MC Jerry Curl. I'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Love you for watching. Bid you adieu. You guys, MC Curtis, myself, and those 6 sauce wings, let's all exit. Stage left. See you next week. Cheers.
Yeah, Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities, here we offer you. We gon'